What is up, guys? Jesse and Melissa here with Adventure Endeavor. Lincoln is currently sleeping with Grandma. And today we are talking about the Black Series. And we're talking about the Black Series. The HQ17 is the model that we have been in for the last 6 months. And today we are going to tell you if you should buy one of these RVs. So we are moved out. We're back in our Grand Design because we got another baby on the way. Our family was already probably too big for the HQ17, but we're going to go through any issues that we had with the trailer. We're going to talk about who the trailer's for and if it would be a good purchase.
Yeah, we just basically wanted to share our impressions of it, our experience with it, and let you know what we think the pros and cons are, and let's go ahead and dive into that. First of all, the overall versatility and capabilities when it comes to off-road and driving down any road comfortably is completely unmatched to any other RV that we've ever lived in or experienced.
Yes, and the off-grid capability. So the Black Series has 65 gallons of fresh water. Our unit had 800 watts of solar. With all of those items combined, you can really get out there. You can really go off-grid, and you can stay out there for a while. So for a 17-foot trailer, it was dialed in all of those aspects.
Yeah, the independent suspension, the articulating hitch, just the overall like ground clearance of it, just the way that they designed all those aspects of it. The fact that it had rock sliders all the way around, and then the diamond plate around the bottom half of the rig. It made it super rugged, super capable, and we felt extremely comfortable taking it
almost
basically anywhere.
Yeah. And one more thing too to state is that the boxes on the Black Series are slightly more narrow than your conventional RV, so you're able to wiggle and snake through down terrain and trails a lot easier. So this is the one thing we got a lot of questions about on YouTube, and it was the negatives, the cons, the breakdowns, stuff like that. To be completely honest, and this is all honesty, we only had a couple minor issues and they were not a big deal. So I would say, and we stated this in a previous video, that the factory solar, which was 600 watts of flexible panels, a 2000 watt inverter, it had
the
AGM batteries, was a little weak for us being full-time. We noticed, especially in the winter, that if we ran Starlink and a lot of power-hungry items throughout the day or into the evening, that the batteries would be very low. That being said, for normal people who want to charge phones and maybe watch an occasional movie in the evening, especially if you don't need Starlink, you're not going to have an issue. That system's going to work totally fine. Once they upgraded it for us, we were golden. Zero generator use. The other issue we had was there was a water port on the outside of the trailer where you plug in the outdoor sink. It's a quick release port. That fitting just started dripping, and eventually it just got more and more of a larger drip that would need to be replaced. Other than that, there's really nothing I can think of. I've heard of all sorts of different things online, but you guys got to remember, you know, they are put together quickly. All RVs, all manufacturers put them together quickly, and you know, stuff happens. We've had way more issues with all of our Indiana-made trailers, way more than we've had with this Black Series. So yeah, take it as you will. That is just our personal, honest experience with the HQ17, and it was a brand new trailer.
Yeah, and we put that thing through its paces. It was heavy use. Like we said, we were using it for off-roading and also living full-time with a toddler, and that rig felt extremely sturdy, like extremely strong, like stout, just the cabinetry, like everything felt, yeah, stout is a really good descriptor for that. Nothing felt like cheap or flimsy whatsoever. And so it's really, we really feel like the construction materials are well designed for the capabilities of it. You know, considering you're dragging it down off-road trails and bumpy roads, that's exactly what you'd want. You don't want the kind of rig that's, you know, made in Indiana and a lot of it is just kind of falling apart all the time.
Yeah. Ask us how we know.
One thing in particular that I was really impressed with was the structural integrity of like the rear receiver hitch, that whole rear rack system. The overall strength of whatever item you're putting into that receiver hitch is going to vary, but I was impressed by that system to begin with because we've had major issues with previous like receiver hitches on previous rigs. We almost lost our bikes because of it on our first 6 months on the road. And we did have like a big rack on there in the back for the last several months, and I never questioned.
And it bounced a lot off-road. So it has 2 mounting points to the frame, and then they give you 2 different points where you can attach a rack, a lower and an upper. We had it on the upper, and we probably had close to 100 pounds on there, and it bounced a lot off-road, and we just took it off the other day. It's totally fine. I'm sure if you're watching this video, one of the main reasons for watching it is you want to know if you should buy a Black Series, if it'll be the right rig for you. I would say it depends. First and foremost, it depends on what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be going on rugged dirt roads very often? Are you going to be trying to get to those super remote places? Then yeah, I mean, I would highly consider a Black Series. They have all different sizes and models. If you're going to be going to the RV park mostly with occasionally hitting a dirt road, like a forestry road, you probably don't need one of these trailers. And then on the same avenue, you're going to be, it's a give and a take. So if you get this more rugged rig, like we said, the boxes are narrower and they don't have slide outs. So you're going to be giving up space, and I'm talking lounging space and being able to walk past each other in the aisleway unobstructed, or if your kid has a bunch of toys in the road meaning the walkway, you can get by. With a slide out, you have more space, so you're less likely to trip over something or bump into each other. If it's smaller, it can go down tighter trails and get into those more remote, rugged places.
Yeah, if you basically want to worry less about where you can take your trailer, it's probably going to be a really good option for you. If you are a weekend warrior, or if you're doing like, you know, shorter week or 2 week long trips, not necessarily living full-time like we were, it's probably perfect. Like for us, if that were our lifestyle currently, it'd be perfect. But that's just not our phase of life right now. We have another baby coming, we are full-time, so it was just not enough space for us long term, but we just absolutely loved like the versatility of like where we could go with it.
Yeah, going through the drive-through was great. We had talked about too, our first rig, we ended up getting a Keystone Cougar, a very small fifth wheel. And in retrospect, had we have known about Black Series, I don't know if they were even around then. I think they were a very new company. And had we have known what we actually needed for living on the road, a 19 or 21 model Black Series would have been absolutely perfect for us. But we went with something bigger just because you move out of like a 1,500 square foot house and you're like, oh, we need a lot of space. We need a lot of space. We have all this stuff. But now 5 years down the road, I'm like, dang, if we would have been in a 19 or a 21 from the beginning, we would probably maybe just be getting out of it right now because we have a second child on the way.
Black Series has a ton of great couples layouts. Like I said, this HQ17, we chose it because it had bunk options. We needed a dedicated sleeping space for our 1-year-old, and we wanted that extra bunk space up above for storage of things, but that, you know, made it limited in like the overall amount of space that you have. It's a 17-foot box, so for us, again, it was just a little bit too small. But there's so many great layouts, like especially for couples, or you know, if maybe your kids are like a little bit older and like you're planning on spending the majority of your time outside, and that's like the whole purpose of you buying an RV, just so that you can have an enclosed, like, nice space to take on the road with you, but you're not planning to necessarily be in it most of the day like we were. I think that would be a really, really great option for that kind of family.
Totally. So to kind of round this video out, we just wanted to say our favorite thing about the RV and our least favorite thing about the RV. And for me, my biggest dislike about the RV is I wish they could somehow figure out a way to build a mechanical slide. So we're talking a pop out like a normal RV has, but something that's not ran off motors, doesn't have wiring, is not hydraulic. To me, mechanical meaning you pull a lever, it slides out on some ball bearings just like a fridge slide, and then bam, you're done. So it's not going to fail when you're going off-road.
My biggest dislike, which is specific to this layout because it is so small, was the wet bath. We had never had a wet bath before. We thought it would be interesting to give it a try, and I did not like that.
We don't like it.
I did not like it at all.
It's hard to shower when you live in it, guys. If it's for a weekend or a week here and a week there, it's totally fine. It worked good. But if you're gonna live in it full time with a toddler, it's not great. Okay, my favorite thing for me was the off-road abilities of the rig. The fact that you could go almost anywhere, and you seriously, towards the end of our 6 months in it, I just wasn't even thinking about it. I was never like, oh, can we make it up here? Can we go over there? Like, it just took everything we threw at it, and it was so nice knowing, like, yeah, we're gonna go on this Jeep trail, and it just went right behind the Ram, no problem.
No problems whatsoever. My favorite things, there's actually two of them. I really liked the outdoor kitchen space. That was really nice because they provided with like this big surface that gave you so much extra counter space that you didn't have on the inside of the rig. So that was just really nice to have. It seemed like a really convenient setup with the outdoor sink and the cook surface plus the prep area. And the drawer that comes in there underneath the cook surface as well. All of that just seemed like a really nice setup, and it worked really well for us. My other favorite thing were the humongous windows and the fact that they're designed in a way that they pop out, and they have a screen that can slide up and then like a valance that can slide down, that has like reflective material on the outside to completely like block out any light. So the versatility of those windows allowed for great airflow, and really nice views. Like these big old massive windows right next to your bed.
I don't like our windows that we have right now. And there's not enough windows in our rig.
Yeah.
But anyways, that kind of wraps up this video. If you have any questions about the Black Series or other models or anything, we're here to help out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. That's the end. That's the end of this chapter with the Black Series. Maybe there'll be another in the future. We don't know. Time will tell.